While insurrection occurred at the Capitol building in the United States of America on Wednesday, several local leaders and political activists have called for peace and democracy to prevail amidst the unrest. Leader of the opposition, Joseph Harmon, has likened the disturbances in the U.S. to what obtained at the Ashman's building in March 2020, citing that the perpetrators of such dastardly acts continue to roam free.
This, of course, is reminiscent of the storming and vandalizing of the Guyana Elections Commission Center at Ashman Building in Georgetown on March the 5th, 2020. And that also was aimed at stopping the tallying of votes cast at our general and regional elections. On that occasion, executives and agents of the People's Progressive Party executed this dastardly act in full view of several high-ranking Western diplomats.
He stated that the United States of America will have to act in a manner consistent with the global leadership role it has exercised in decades, and it must do so quickly.
The APNU-AFC is of the view that the United States of America will have to act in a manner consistent with the global leadership role it has exercised in decades past, and it must do so quickly.
Also weighing in on the civil unrest was Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Mahabir Anil Nandlal, who stated via his Facebook page, and I quote, "I stand with those upholding the rule of law. I call for the will of the electorate to prevail as democracy battles for survival in its most formidable global bastion." End quote. Meanwhile, political scientist Dr. David Hinds said what transpired on Wednesday at Capitol Hill in the U.S. is nothing new. He reminded of the country's civil war, where some 600,000 Americans lost their lives as a result of a resistance to emancipation. He further spoke to a decade of resistance by Americans from 1954 to 1965, during a period where white Americans sought to prevent black Americans from gaining access to education. Dr. Hinds stated that for the system of democracy to take full effect, all parties are required to subscribe to its tenets. He further stated that instead of this, persons seek to monopolize power.
There is no magic in democracy. Democracy is something, it's a system of governance that all sides have to subscribe to. And in Guyana, as in the United States, there are people who are not prepared to work along with the other side, and they want to monopolize all the power.
Dr. Hinds concluded that there is a message in all this for Guyanese.
I would like Guyanese to reflect on the fact that the very forces who are leading this assault on the democracy of the United States are the very people who were brought into Guyana to impose democracy on Guyanese.
Meanwhile, political leaders of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, as well as the United Kingdom have all condemned the acts and called for a peaceful transition to power of the president-elect Joe Biden. On Wednesday, several Donald Trump supporters stormed the Capitol building of the United States, while votes from the U.S. Electoral College were being ratified by Congress to certify President-elect Joe Biden's win of the recently concluded elections in the United States. The storming of the building came on the heel of an address by the president, where he resuscitated claims of electoral fraud and also remarked that he would not concede to fraud. Wendell Badrie, HGP Nightly News.